Chapter 1, The Living World, Adaptation and Classification. In what different ways is the diversity in living things seen? Diversity means variety. A great variety of plants is found on the earth. Some plants have colorful flowers. Some plants grow in water, whereas some are to be found in desert, which have a scarcity of water. Some plants are found only in snowy regions. Some plants cannot be seen without a microscope, whereas some are huge in size. Like plants, animals too show diversity. Some are unicellular, others multicellular. Some are vertebrates, whereas others are invertebrate. This world is full of a variety of animals: aquatic, terrestrial, amphibian, reptilian, aerial, etc. Aquatic means the living organism which lives in water. Terrestrial means the living organism which lives on land. Amphibian means cold-blooded vertebrate animal, example frog, salamander. Reptilian means reptiles like snake and lizard. Aerials means the birds, etc. This observation give rise to the question, how did this great diversity come into being? Are the plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan of the same type? Can you elaborate on any difference between the two? Coniferous trees like pine and deodar flourish in snowy region like Kashmir. However, in the desert of Rajasthan, plants like cactus and acacia are to be found. The camel, a desert animal, is not found in Kashmir. What is the reason for this difference? Adaptation. Gradual changes occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of organism, which help them to adjust to their surrounding. Such changes are called adaptation. This is the definition of adaptation. Mark this definition. Important definition. They take place over a long period of time. Adaptation in plants. Observe and complete the chart. Plant, lotus. Habitat, aquatic. Type of root, fibrous. Characteristic of leaves, large and round with waxy layer. Characteristic of stem, hollow and flexible. Plant, cactus. Habitat, terrestrial. Type of root, fibrous. Characteristics of leaves, leaves have scales and spines instead of leaves. Characteristic of stem, stem have thick herbaceous or woody chlorophyll containing stem. Banyan. Habitat, terrestrial. Type of root, taproot. Characteristic of leaves, large, leathery, glossy, green and elliptical in shape. Characteristic of stem, most strong and most heavy stem. Adaptation in aquatic plant. Visit various water bodies such as river, brook, pond, lake in your surrounding. Brook means a small stream. What difference do you observe between terrestrial and aquatic animal? Some of the aquatic plants are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. Their stems are submerged, while leaves and flowers float on the surface. However, some plants are entirely afloat. Their roots are not anchored in the soil. The surface of leaves and stem of many aquatic plants are covered with a waxy layer. Leaves of some aquatic plants are thin and slender, like a ribbon. This shape helps them to withstand fast current of water. Air spaces in stems and petioles of the aquatic plant are useful for floating in water. Petioles mean the stalk that joins a leaf to a stem. Adaptation in desert plants. Take two potted plants, one a cactus and the other a leafy plant. Tie plastic bags loosely around the leaves of this plant and keep them in sunlight. From early in the morning, in the afternoon, bring those pots in the classroom and observe them. Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are like small needles or have been modified into thorn. As a result, they lose very little water by evaporation. Mark this point. The stem store water and food and is therefore fleshy. Mark this point also. The stems are green as they perform photosynthesis in the absence of leaves. Their root penetrate deep into the soil and some roots spread away into the soil in search of water. There is a thick layer of waxy substance on the stem of this plant too. Adaptation in plants of snowy region. In what ways are sloping branches useful to plants in a snowy region? Plants of snowy region mainly include conifers like deodar and pine. These trees are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. In the heavy snowfall and extreme cold in this region, their conical shape prevents the snow from accumulating on the tree, and the thick bark helps the tree to withstand the cold. Mark this paragraph next. Adaptation in plants of forest region. A variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and herbs are found in forest. Shrubs mean a woody plant which is smaller than a tree and has several main stems arising at or near the ground. Herbs are any plants with leaves, seeds, or flowers used for flowering, food, medicine, or perfume. The plants compete amongst themselves for sunlight. Hence, trees grow tall to get sunlight, and clambers and vines grow to a great height with the support of tree. Mark this point, this is the answer. Spring-like tendrils on the stem of some climber is an example of adaptation. Adaptation in grassland plants. Diverse types of bushes and grasses are found in the grassland. Fibrous roots of grasses prevent soil erosion. Erosion is the geological process in which earthen material are worn away and transported by natural forces such as wind or water. Forests in the equatorial region are dense. Animals like tiger, elephant, and deer can remain hidden in these grasses. However, grasses in cold regions are very short. Animals like the rabbit are found in such grasses. Vast meadows are found in hilly areas as well as plains. Meadows mean a piece of grassland. Observe and discuss. Observe and note down the adaptation in the parts of plant like potato, groundnut, yam, water, hyacinth, aloe, acacia, carrot, onion, beet, bitter gourd, grape, wine, etc. and other plants in your surrounding. Adaptation for ingestion of food in plants. Most of the plants are anchored in the ground and are autotrophic. Autotrophics means living things that can make its own food from simple chemical substance such as carbon dioxide. However, plants like dodder are parasitic. Parasitic means living on another organism. The plant body of dodder consists of yellow wire-like stems. It is leafless and cannot perform photosynthesis. However, it has hausturial roots for absorbing nutrients from the host plant. These roots penetrate up to the conducting vessel of the host plant to absorb water and food. Fungi do not have chlorophyll and cannot perform photosynthesis. They obtain food from starchy stuff like bhakri and bread. They have root-like fibers for absorption of food. Mark this point. It is an answer. Plant needs nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium for growth. Plants that grow in soil which is deficient in nitrogen like Drosera, Venus flytrap, pitcher plant, etc. fulfill their need for nitrogen by consuming insect. Adaptation are seen in these plants which serve to attract insect and hold them captive. Mark this paragraph, it is an answer. Adaptation in animals. Make a list of animals in your surrounding. Compare the diversity of animals listed by your friend. With your list, discuss the habitat, food habit, characteristics of body structures like vertebral column, wings, gills, tails, etc. and prepare a chart. What difference do you see between terrestrial and aquatic animals? As compared to terrestrial animals, the skin and body shape of aquatic animals appear to have undergone changes. Fishes have scale on the skin and fins on the body. Their body tapers toward the both its end, like a spindle. Fish breathe with gills instead of nose. Their eyes have transparent eyelid. They have air bladders within the body to help them to float. Mark this paragraph, it is an answer. Observe the bodies of the frog and duck and tortoise. Of what use are their legs of this animal? Legs of frogs are used. Frogs use their legs, hind legs, mostly to propel themselves through the water while swimming, and use their front legs to steer. Duck. Duck use their legs for walking and waddling on land. Tortoise. Tortoise, they use their leg like oars of a boat so that they can swim in the water with ease. What helps frog to breathe underwater? Frog breathe underwater through skin. Of what use are the long hind legs of a frog? Long hind legs of a frog are used to propel themselves through the water while swimming. Why doesn't a duck get wet in water? Ducks have smooth feathers which doesn't allow much water to stick to them and keep them afloat. As the frog and duck have webbed toes, they can use their legs like oars. Oars mean a pole with a flat blade used to steer a boat through the water. Water flows off the waxy feather of bird like duck and water hen, webbed toes, slippery, smooth skin, and a triangular head help frog to swim easily through water. They can live on land as well as in water due to their ability to breathe through the skin in water and using the nose and lungs on land. The typical color of frog's back help it to hide among grasses. Make a list of the names of some other amphibians you know and study their adaptation. Adaptation in forest and grassland. Animals. Carnivorous animals like the wild dog, fox, tiger, and lion have strong legs to run fast and capture their prey. Carnivorous means feeding on another animal. Prey means an animal that is caught and killed by another for food. They have claws and their canine teeth are sharp and pointed. What is the function of teeth? Tigers have padded paws. This enables them to silently stop their prey and capture it easily. Find the eyes of predator carnivores are located in the front of their head. It helps them to spot their prey from a long distance. The eyes of herbivores are are below the forehead on either side of the head. This gives them wide angle vision which helps to protect them from predators. Their legs are long and tapering with strong hooves. Hooves means the horny part of the foot which is in animal like horse. Their long and freely moving ears can receive sounds from long distance and different directions. Deer and blackbirds have colors that merge with their surroundings. Their teeth are strong for chewing tough plant material. Mark this paragraph. It is a answer. Adaptation in desert animal. Deserts are characterized by severe scarcity of water. Hence, desert animals have a thick skin to prevent losses of water from the body. Their legs are long with flat and cushioned soles. The nostrils are protected by folds of skin. The eyelashes are long and thick. Rats, snakes, spiders, lizards in desert live in deep burrows during daytime and are active at night. Mark this paragraph. Adaptation in animals of snowy region. From the internet, download images of animals like yak, polar bear, white fox, silver fox, mountain goat, Siberian husky dog, and snow leopard. Compare these images with those of similar animals from tropical forest. A white or silver body color, long thick hair on the skin are typical characteristic of animals of snowy region. How are these useful to them? Adaptation in aerial animals. What is the main difference between vehicle on the road and aeroplane? The spindle-shaped body of bird also minimizes the resistance of air while flying. With hollow bones, a body covering of feathers, and modification of forelegs into wing, their body is light in weight and adapted for flying. Mark this paragraph, it is an answer. The body of insect also is light in weight and tapers at both ends. They can fly with two pairs of wings and also walk with six stick-like legs. Bats can fly with the help of the patagium, a thin fold of skin between their foreleg and hind legs. Mark this point, it is important. Observe the various birds and insects in your area. Adaptation in reptiles. Observe from a distance how snakes and earthworms creep. Which organ do they use for creeping? Are there any special changes for that purpose? Note any such changes. Animals like house lizard, garden lizard, crocodile use their muscle for creeping. Similarly, they show adaptation in skin, sole of feet, body color, etc. For example, the house lizard and monitor lizard have clawed toes and thin soles, whereas snakes have a scaly skin. Adaptation for food in animals. We can categorize animals as herbivorous and carnivorous. Special adaptations are seen in each category to make the process of feeding easy. We will discuss this in greater details in the chapter on nutrition. Watch the programs on channels like National Geographic, Wild, Discovery, etc. to learn about the feeding habits of animals like frogs, snakes, birds, mosquitoes, butterflies, etc. Adaptation, animal use of adaptation. Sharp teeth, lion, tiger. Use of adaptation to tear flesh. Long and pointed beak. Animals, cranes, and herons. Use of adaptation, it helps them to hold slippery food like fish and worms. Short beak. Animals, sparrow, finches help to grab nuts and seeds. Long and sticky tongue. Animals, pangolins, chameleons helps to catch their prey. Long neck animal, giraffe, llama helps them to reach their food and look out for predators. Adaptation for blending with the surrounding. We cannot easily spot colorful butterflies, lizard and grasshopper. They get camouflaged amidst grasses. Camouflage means hide or disguise the presence. Parts of plant like stems, leaves, flower, etc. That is because their color blend with those of their surrounding. Changes that take place in the various organs and life processes of organism that enable them to live, feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves. Perpetuate means preserve and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surrounding. Depending upon the habitat and its geographical condition are called adaptation. Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals and suggested that only those organisms are likely to survive which can best adapt themselves to a changing environment. This is called the theory of survival of the fittest. This is Darwin's first principle. If an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristic and is able to survive, this change is preserved in the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and is called the theory of natural selection. These two principles are very important. Mark this. Classification of living organism. Why are living things classified? Living things are classified to avoid confusion, to make study of organism easy and learn how various organisms are related to each other. Which are the criteria used to classification of plants and animal? Classification of plants on the basis of various characteristics like differentiation in roots, stem and leaves, production of seeds, vascular tissue, etc. Classification of animals on the basis of symmetry, column, segmentation, circulatory system, autotrophic and heterotrophic nature, exoskeleton, etc. It is difficult to study and remember all the organisms in this diverse living world at the same time. Classification helps in this respect. Different scientists have used different criteria and independently classified plants and animals. A hierarchy is formed in the classification that starts with kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae, Further groups and subgroups are formed depending upon basic similarity and difference. This is called the hierarchy of classification. This is important answer. Mark this answer. Binomial nomenclature by Carl Linus. Imagine that there are four students with a name Kabir or Kiran in a classroom. If you are talking about any one of them, how would you ensure that others know which one of them you are talking about? Without any confusion, we would tell the full name, that is, the full name and the last name. This is similar to binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is used to identify each organism accordingly. A scientific name has been assigned to each organism. It consists of parts. The part the first part is genus and second part is species. Mark this answer, it is very important answer. All identified organisms have been assigned a binomial name as per the guidelines of the International Code of Nomenclature. All the organisms of a species are so similar that irrespective of difference in color, height, habitats and habit, they can reproduce among themselves and form new individuals like themselves. For example, all domestic cats in the world belong to the same species. The same is true in the case of animals like hen, cow, dog, etc. and plants like mango, wheat, maize, etc.